Hey YouTube, what's up? Just wanted to share this piece of content. This is a meeting we had at Ad Zombies with the core team talking about brand strategy and some of the things we're doing, and I thought I'd pull the curtain back, give you guys a sneak peek of what goes on when we have a conversation about what we're doing internally. So I want to talk about the FirstInLine stuff, and I know you know about it, you don't know about it yet. So Gary V is doing something interesting. He's taking people who are really hyper-active consumers of his content, and he's created this thing called FirstInLine, and he wants to deliver extra value to those people and those businesses that really consume the content, and in our case, you know, live and do things pretty similarly.
So his P1s.
His P1s. And so there's something that he's doing now that I think is really cool, and it wouldn't cost us really anything to do. It can be done internally, and I'd like to participate in this. So he's made a big ask of FirstInLine, and that is, if you run a business, I would love for you to give us, for the FirstInLine community, something big. If you run a pizza shop, you know, 100 pizzas. If you run a cruise line, 2 free cruises. If you, whatever it is, and something of value for the community, that they will then, correct, but they will then, in content, promote your business through that. So it's not just the FirstInLine. So I'm really wanting to do something like that, where it's we give away 100 ads, or we give away, I think 100 ads. He doesn't want, he's like, listen, if you're gonna give me a pair of sneakers, I don't want that. It's gotta be something of value to the community.
Right. Like
But,
like 10, 12 packs or something like that.
right, 10, 12 packs, right, something, or 100
The
ads.
special 10 pack
Just, right,
have
for,
something
just for that world.
Yeah.
But to give away enough value, whether it's $5,000 or $10,000 worth of value, that it's worth him saying, hey guys, because he already knows us, he knows me, right, there's a, so.
I like the idea of like 6 packs, 10 packs, something like that. So
Okay.
So that he doesn't need a pair of shoes, but 10 pair of shoes, right?
Correct.
Does the job. So, or something where, because it's hard for somebody to get a flavor of what the service is and what we do without there being some kind of.
So would you,
The question is then the number.
Yeah.
right, would you be comfortable giving away 100 of,
Yeah, however we want to break it up in 6s or 5s or 10s or whatever. I mean,
okay,
seems like that makes sense, right?
okay.
Do you mean like 100 6-packs, or do you mean like
100 ads,
whatever
100
the-
6-packs,
whatever
10 6-packs, 10, you know, 10 10-packs.
Gotcha.
For a, you know, 10 for a business, 10 ads for a business, or 1 ad per business gives them 100.
Yeah, it seems like you got like
Right.
2.5 months, almost like to consume that, right? So it's
Right.
It's like an extended trial for somebody where they get some really good quality writing. They can run with it. They may choose to run with it, and this is what they use for the next year. You know, who knows?
Okay.
Is it just the ads, or are images and video included?
We can, that's up to us. I mean,
That might really, yeah. that
Maybe
would-
toss some images in there too, just to make some. You know, it's where
Yeah,
it's,
not like per ad,
so
but
it's
yeah.
10 packs, and the 10 packs include
5
an
images.
image each and 2 videos.
Well-
that you can pick for 2 of the 10.
The truth is, we could do 10 10-packs with 10 images each, because we have, our license is so big with iStock and
Yeah, so
Getty.
Each one comes with an image.
Each, right, so each of the ads that we deliver,
I think 2 videos with the.
So-
template.
so you get
Like
10
images.
8
2
images, 2 videos for each of the 10 packs.
It gives
Okay.
them the ability to try to see the difference between how images
Yeah.
perform versus
Okay.
videos. Where we know we're moving more and more people towards
Video.
videos because they just have way better performance on them. But people sometimes need to see the difference, right?
Okay.
So it gives the people. I think like 10, yeah, so 10 packs that include 8 images, 2 videos. We
Okay.
Come up with a way for them to specify which one they want.
Right, and then we have to figure out, and then once they decide, you know, so if VaynerMedia says, hey, yeah, we want to do this, this is great, we want you guys to participate in FirstInLine, then we'll have to figure out the deliverable side, because I don't know what that looks like for you, action-wise. Okay.
So you
think
want to
it
float
also-
the idea past them to see,
I'm-
does this make sense?
I'm gonna just
to
submit
what
the,
we're
I'm gonna
thinking?
go into the form, submit the form, and say, here's what we're willing to give away
Right.
to the
Give a
community.
dollar amount. think
Oh
that's
yeah,
important.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Here's what each pack is worth from a value standpoint.
Right, 10 packs with 8 images, 2 videos each, right? So now we're giving
We're
potentially
50
10 businesses.
50 times 10, we're 5, plus 10 times 10, 100, 600, plus 2 videos. We're $730 worth of value.
Just
each
in one.
package, right,
So
right.
there's
Yeah.
7,000, $7,300 worth of stuff
Yep.
just given away.
Yep.
Okay, so we're good with that? Okay. So then I'll do that later.
Because
And
clearly it's something that he's asking for, but really, it doesn't take much to figure out that he's asking you to do something that actually is probably going to help you.
absolutely, 100%,
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
Anybody
So,
who looks at it as I'm having to give something, they're looking at it.
right.
It's
To me,
an
this is a
opportunity.
marketing
It's an
expense.
opportunity, yeah.
Right. It's a marketing
It's
expense.
a triple win, really. It's a win for us, it's a win for Gary, because
Yeah.
it's like, hey, look what
Right.
we're doing, and then it's a win for whoever gets the.
Correct.
And hopefully it lets us reach people that we don't already reach to create some trials, so that some percentage of them go, you know what, these guys are pretty amazing, I need this on an ongoing basis, and they fold into something we normally do, so
Right.
that works.
Okay, so that's done. Next issue. So I want to talk about, so you have made it, like, the last couple of weeks have been great, because I am starting to spend less and less time in that side of the world. And obviously I spend no time in your side of the world, because you just make shit happen.
Yeah, that's on purpose.
Yeah, because I would destroy it.
I told you, like, in week 1, my goal is to get you out of the daily writing as soon as possible.
Right.
The only writing I think you should be doing is writing
For
the
us, right.
brand, and then promoting and doing what you do with that. But that's
Okay.
outside of that. Client writing, it's, you know, in the early stages right now, it's still every once in a while emergencies happen and you got to jump in. But we should have that covered in the next couple of months without even wanting to be an issue.
Or
Okay.
if you feel like you need it as a creative outlet.
Right.
Go, you know,
Right.
Go
and
ahead,
jump in whenever.
Jump in, yeah.
Okay. What's the health of our team look like right now in terms of the writing core? Give me a, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the team is super healthy. We have some holes to fill, because that's what concerns me, is that I'm a little out of touch with that,
Yeah.
and I don't know what to expect.
Okay. Well, I think with the volume, we're probably at about a 7.
Yeah, from my perspective, this is the most comfortable we've been since
Right.
I've been involved with volume. We've been playing catch up pretty much the entire time, where we're just
Yeah.
we're still keeping quality high. We're getting jobs out, but too often coming close to the end of deadlines, which I don't like.
Right.
But for the first time, we're having no issues hitting deadlines at all. Like,
Good.
We're very comfortable, so we can handle some more volume now,
Yeah.
which is a rare thing,
Right.
given the short period of time that I've been involved.
Yesterday, I jumped in with him and I said, ramp it up.
Yep.
You
Ramp
know?
up the marketing.
Yeah, let's go.
And I want to ramp up the marketing, but I didn't want to ramp up the marketing until we sat down and talked, because I really want to discuss, A, the direction of the marketing, and B, the marketing versus my interaction in Facebook groups and the value that I bring. The time that I spend in Facebook groups is super valuable, as long as I'm giving them value, right? I'm not trying to sell anyone in Facebook groups, I'm just helping. And so I can spend 5-6 hours a day in those groups and make a huge impact on sales numbers. And I can also spend time creating the ads, and there's some new ads that I really want to get out there. Like, for example, that flying dude video.
Yeah.
The guy who hits the ground.
The guy hits the ground. What's our superpower? Writing your ad copy.
Right.
So I want
Did
to.
you see the one he did for our
Yeah,
yeah.
So I really like that.
I like that video.
And
Yes.
and even
We
though
worked on that one a little bit. We had
Together,
a
yeah.
couple of
You could
different-
use that for so many different things.
Yeah.
it's got good legs.
Yeah.
Did we go with the spoiler alert?
Oh.
Avengers?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
a little
It
bit,
had a
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I have to download the finalized version of that.
The other one I created a hashtag CPU heroes.
I like
Instead
that.
of superheroes.
CPU heroes.
So I wonder how many people would connect those dots. It's kind of fun to sometimes have things though that is smart humor that not everybody gets.
Yeah.
Like
Clever.
It doesn't rely on
Well, 'cause it
getting
still
it
works.
to connect.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
So my thoughts quickly on I think a balance, right,
Mhm.
of you engaging and traditional, pay for play
Right.
advertising stuff. It seems like, and this is just completely anecdotal, but the customers that come from your engagement are higher quality customers, meaning they need less hand-holding, right, after the fact. They need less hand-holding through the process, right? They kind of understand the idea behind a creative brief. They kind of get, what do I do with this once I got it, implementation, right?
Right.
So they seem to be just easier clients to work with.
Okay.
Versus, and they also tend to purchase larger tickets, right?
Okay.
They want variations, they want images, they're less focused on their contributions to style, more leave it to the writers to come up with something that's creative, less likely to submit for rewrites because they're not doing things based on their opinion, they're doing things based on what will work, right? So they seem to be just overall higher quality.
Okay.
The only downside I've found from the ones that come out of that world
I know.
is sometimes they have a conversation with you, a deep conversation, and so they're very brief in the creative brief.
Yeah.
And maybe the word
Yeah.
brief makes them think, but they make reference to Ken knows. And while you probably do know, and while we could stop everything and stop what you're doing, it's not healthy to stop what you're doing to go find out about this particular guy in his particular situation.
Right.
So
how do I?
You've got to maybe do a better job of when they're transferring from getting knowledge from you to, okay, I am going to become a customer of yours. Like, just tell them straight up. You've got to, during the brief, you've got to put the information in like you've never spoken to anybody in your life before, me, because otherwise, my guys, I won't remember this conversation. My memory's horrible. I do this so much. Whatever.
Right.
You got to give them like a very brutal like.
Well,
hey,
don't say that to them. But,
no, but I mean,
yeah,
but
just say-
I'm sorry. What's your name?
You've got to pretend like we haven't had this conversation and start from scratch with that brief.
Yeah.
Because my writers need to hear from the horse's mouth, so to speak, not my translated version.
Okay.
Right. That's the only negative I ever see with those, right?
Yeah, that goes with every conversation.
Yeah,
It might
I've
be
been.
initial conversations, but when they're like, okay, yeah, I'm in. I want to get some ads from you. Then make sure you include that.
The same thing happens. Like the customer service guys that are in chat, they'll have a deep conversation with somebody in chat, and then those people come over in order and make reference to chat and trying to. For a writer to go back and try to dig up the notes,
Right.
Because in chat, unless they identify themselves, they're just random person from random city.
Right. They're Green Apple from Indianapolis.
Right. Anybody who uses intercom will get the reference, right? But they're totally trying to find that thread of a conversation, and even if you can't find it, scrolling through and picking out, and it's just.
Yeah.
So, in general, when we're assisting people, whether it's you one-on-one in a Facebook group, somebody on the phone, in chat, we've got to remember to, hey, when you go to do that brief, pretend like we never spoke, because the details need to come forward.
Yeah,
there.
I've looked in Podio, and I just searched for. I actually, not narcissistically, it's not like Googling yourself, but I've gone into Podio and I've clicked on the little search tool and I searched for my name.
Yeah, because they always say.
They reference.
Oh yeah, Ken.
And so,
I met Ken at
and I'm like, holy crap! A lot of people do that, and.
Yeah.
So I know that that's not, it's good that they're having the conversations. It's bad that they're not relaying the conversation that we have because they just make the assumption that I'm having that conversation with every writer.
I think that they're probably not even, I think they're just in their brain going, oh, well, I've already told them everything, as if you're the guy that's the face and also writing and, they're not thinking deep enough to go, oh, wait a minute, I got to get the information to
Okay.
the writer.
So I'm,
'Cause it's a team of writers, not
Not-
guys
right.
in a sweatshop, you know what I mean? Well, sometimes.
depends. Day of the week, Friday.
No,
I saw your blinds open the other day, and it's 100 degrees plus, and it was the middle of the afternoon, and I thought it was getting warm here, but apparently we've
I
solved
love
that
it.
problem. All right.
I like my office blinds closed because I don't like warm offices,
See, I feel
period.
like if it's not a sweatshop, I'm not trying.
Gotcha.
Pass me the,
We will bring a space heater over. Oh, look, we've got
I know, wine rings
wasn't
everywhere.
me.
residue.
So this is a bottle that I picked up in Mexico, Nosotros. It's not a very expensive wine, but it's a good wine.
It's good.
I like it,
Little
yeah.
sweet,
Little-
but
little
after the first couple of sips, it
You get used to it, right?
kind of tones down a little bit. Yeah.
Anyway,
After,
I'm dribbling now.
we'd have to check with my wine snob friend, but he could tell us what would pair well with this.
I can
That would fix
Cheddar
the
cheese.
sweetness. Do you think?
I don't know, but
He'd probably have a suggestion of if it's a sweet, here's what you need to do to counteract that.
I like that.
Tacos.
Tacos with wine?
Right?
It is Tuesday.
That's true.
This should have been a taco meeting.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Well, it's a wine and
You know, if you have one of those drill bits, like a paddle bit, that's like
drill a
inch,
hole in here for a
drill
cup.
holes here,
Thank you.
I just was thinking, man, that would be. Come on,
I got
IKEA.
one if you want to borrow it.
Come on, IKEA.
We can put the side tables here.
We
I think
got
that's
some of the side
definitely
tables.
a good thing to do. We'll put side
Allison needs to
tables.
be on a mission to find us triangular if we
We've
can.
got side tables coming. We got to get plants. We've got a bunch of things. I've got a sign company that I'm working with to get the zombie sign, and then you've got the lighting, so we'll have that.
Once I see the sign, we'll figure out.
Right.
the part.
But I'm going to make it pretty big. It'll be a large scale,
Cool.
so that it looks impressive.
Yeah.
But
I want to
again,
rearrange seating so that that's on camera.
well, we'll figure that out. But the
Or we'll cover this window exactly.
once again,
Why is
I
that?
walked into the office today and was startled
Because of your Rob,
because of Rob. I have
we're gonna have to put you a note on the front door that says, "Dear UPS driver," and Spanky. It's not a real zombie.
yeah. I walked in and I'm like, I walked right towards your office.
It always just seems like there's a person standing.
Well, and he's standing there looking at you.
Yeah.
You know. So
with his what's the movie with Macaulay Culkin? That face.
Home Alone.
Home Alone face.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway.
He used to have his hand too.
At least
His
it's
hands.
not the good son.
We're gonna tape his hands up like this.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about advertising. So I could go back to deploying that scaled strategy where we start everything
That
at
was very effective.
$400 a day.
The shotgun and surf thing.
Yeah. Props to Tim Bird for that. The where we start everything at $400 a day, and we're hitting different groups, different in the marketing space,
Right.
and then
And it scales.
move those down and dumps right. So I can go back to that if we feel that that's a good strategy. Does that now we could spend.
The thing you were doing most recently before we were getting overwhelmed and we said shut her down, that was a couple weeks ago, right? That seemed to be performing almost as well for
A
lot
fraction
smaller
of the
budget.
price.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't I go back to that? But I want to roll out some new creative.
Yeah,
So
freshen everything up.
today, so I think by tomorrow I can probably roll out a crap load of new creative. I need 5 hours of by myself to just dig in. So I'll do that tomorrow.
We made the space for you.
No, I know. So I'll do that.
We'll take Rob out of your office.
Yes.
So
No,
you
no,
can
he's
go alone.
he's good.
It's a
He's good.
distraction.
So I can do that tomorrow, and then so that way we can get all those pieces done.
The other video I like is the guy in the tutu trying to do ballet. I think
Yeah,
that's
and
one
we-
that
You've
gets
used a kind of
traction.
tutu before, though.
Different,
Yeah,
different
there
than
was
this
There
one.
was a different one. This one, like he seems so happy doing it.
Yeah, this one's different. I like this, and I'm okay with mixing up and putting new stuff in, completely new stuff. And I think where I'm at now is we have about 4. So everything is. I shouldn't say everything. Most of the ads that we're running are video ads.
Yep.
Those video ads to me convert way better.
They seem to get better engagement.
Better engagement, better
There's
conversion.
something moving and interesting, right?
So I'm on the fence. We have a couple of static image ads that are still running that have good conversion rates. Do we kill those, or do we just keep letting those play out until they stop converting?
I would say if they have good conversion, keep on.
Like the
rolling.
nuts ad?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like it's
Muffin
got-
Top was a great one.
Right, Muffin Top, but that was a client side ad, so I'm not going to run that. And Facebook has been shutting that ad down because we have text around it because I've been talking about what it was for. So same thing with KFC. They keep shutting the ad
Too
down.
much text.
Right. So I think we leave those out, and we just.
I
But the
think ice cream is too polarizing. You gotta
no,
get
no,
that.
ice cream's gone. Yeah, ice cream's gone. but I think the nuts ad, which is, you know, writing your own ad copy, is just plain nuts, and there's a thing of plain nuts in front of you. That one converts really well. There's
You could also play with the copy on that, and you know, custom ads written for peanuts or something. You know what I mean?
right. There's another variation that we can do. The dancing guy in the office, that's still a really high converting ad. Do we try new creative to see?
Friday night, loosen your tie a little bit. That guy.
Yeah, right. Float like a butterfly, sting
yeah,
like a
yeah.
bee. Agencies say fuck it, but they don't really say fuck it.
Right,
It's
right.
blurred out.
But you have to go manual through the process with the censors because they always think you're
Correct.
something you shouldn't be.
So, do we keep those ads in the rotation, which then spreads out the rotation of ads, which then doesn't allow us to really test the effectiveness of each ad, or do we just go to, because this is part of the strategy that I'm concerned about. We have, in any given ad set, there could be 9 ads, but that means that the eyeballs that see them are seeing different ads each time.
Right.
And does that dilute the effectiveness of the overall campaign versus having 2 ads in rotation that they see more frequently, and then we can test, and if one's not working, we put another one in?
So the question is are there elements in there that are recognizable that different is good because it's entertaining with recognizable, oh, it's those guys again, oh, it's those guys again, versus the same old ad over and over, which I might get bored with,
Right.
right?
But how long does it take to fatigue? It's not like watching television where one person could sit in front of a TV without a DVR. You know, let's forget DVRs.
Right.
And see a show. You might see the same ad 11 times over the course of that show. But with digital, how many times are you seeing that ad?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right. So that's where I'm kind of.
It was funny for a little bit, and then
But now it got
it's
old
dead.
really quickly.
Right.
Right.
But they could do a different version of the same and bring it back, kind of like the old days of the what's up, you know what I
Wow.
mean?
What's
They-
up?
yeah,
What's
they-
up? Yeah, they did. Eventually, they
let go away and
morphed.
then-
It was a series, and then you feel it out. You just feel out the.
Yeah, like the hammock ad still converts
Yeah.
well. Now, it surprising.
That one kind of surprises me because I don't know. I didn't connect with that one.
Yeah.
But that
I'm guessing women connect with it.
women connect with that ad.
Yeah.
That ad connects way better with women. Sells more.
There's a couple of them that are like that. That are the music is very chill and Sunday morning to me. You know what I mean? It's just
Right.
and with the message obviously.
kinda got that-
Just relax. We got this kind of thing.
Colby Kaye feel, whatever her name is.
Calais,
Caillou.
I think. A little bit different. Yeah, we know who has the young kids.
So I think we definitely can put a couple of new ads into rotation. The only thing that I'm hesitant of is do we just try some new creative and
Just the new creative.
and let's rest the old stuff. The old stuff's been running now for 6 months
But it's
ish.
been off for a couple weeks.
It's been off for a month.
Month? Oh wow.
It's been off for a month. So do we bring that back, or do we put in some new stuff and let's test the waters,
Well,
and
maybe
then
maybe a mix. You bring a few of the best performing old ones back with some new ones.
okay,
And let them run against each other. And if the best one, the old ones,
then we
still
start killing the
outperform, then
we kill the new ones. So what I want to do is then have you look in the ads manager with me,
Okay.
so we can form at least an opinion based on data,
Yeah.
not just guessing,
Yeah.
or not just saying, well, this one converted really well on this date.
yeah. It's funny when you look at them in slices. Sometimes it looks good when you drill in.
And you're like, holy
Or
crap,
you get
this.
a bunch of conversions, but they're all bottom ticket items versus this one gets less conversions, but they're way higher value.
Right, like there was one where we ran it and we had I want to say it was a $5 ad spend and had a $1,500 conversion. That was the best that ad performed in that group of people that we're marketing to.
Right.
That
It looks crazy on the list of them because it has one huge dollar conversion
Correct.
from a relative small dollar audience. So
Correct.
It just looks
But it
crazy.
hasn't. Yeah, it just doesn't have the
But
staying
what's the
power of
chances?
the other ones.
In that group.
Right, what's the chances of that having another purchase like that? You know what I mean?
We don't know.
Don't know.
We just don't
not
know.
enough data to know.
Right. you hit the audience a certain way, and they react to it. The other thing I like about our ads, and the more for me personally, it's about the brand and not about the ask. And the ask is very gentle. So I as long as
Very
we
few of them that have any real push to
buy
them.
now, get this, right?
Yeah, they're just, here's what we do.
Right. So I want to stay consistent with that because I really like that play. I think that that's a way better long term. We're still asking them to transact with us, but we're not. They've gotten so comfortable and know the brand now that I think just staying in that space of, hey, here's who we are, here's what we do, we entertain you, our ads are entertaining.
Well, the real question is, how many landing pages do we want them to go to before they purchase?
0.
Right.
The reality is there's tons of people that have seen the ads
Right.
many times that they're our customers, they just don't know it yet. Right?
Okay.
They're just waiting until they don't have the time to do it, or they're tired of sitting around trying to rack their brains to get, doing brainstorming sessions, trying to get 3 ideas, and then just offload that.
Okay.
Not my problem anymore.
So then would it be worth it, kind of for the time being, to run the ones that you said, the older ones
That are working.
while you produce new creative?
They turn those on immediately. Yeah.
Right. And we could do that. Also, which you just sparked a thought, some of the creative works with some groups and other creative works in other groups. So maybe we have to start testing which creatives fail in, like,
And what it is about that.
why I would never know what it is about that because,
All you can do is try different things and figure out maybe trends or patterns
You
within
just
groups
find
that,
some
that
similarities.
like you said about the hammock one, women connect with that better.
right,
Well, you didn't know that until you ran some stuff and look at the data after the fact to
Right.
see, right? Same kind of thing. So you find stuff that's resonating in a group. You try to think, what are the elements about this? Is it music style? Is it, what are the elements? And then maybe you take, well, it could be this or could be that. So go create some other creative to drop to the same groups on purpose to figure out which one it is. Right?
okay. Yeah, because the one ad that converts consistently well, men and women, mobile and desktop pretty close. Desktop seems to be, certain ads really convert well on desktop and don't convert on mobile. And then certain ads kill on both. And then there are some ads that kill on just mobile, which and I don't know if it's
I don't know
time and
that's why,
placement,
yeah.
right, Facebook's algorithm, I don't know what causes that, but the ad that consistently works well, both men and women,
Robot.
is, no.
I wanted to guess.
It's
I just
the dude with the beard who's smiling and dancing, and
Oh,
it says
big fuzzy beard.
his copywriting sucks, but his ads are on fire.
I like, you know what,
It makes you feel good.
I could see almost, it's the least polarizing of everything. I mean, it's even, who could not look at that guy and just not smile,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He's contagious.
Yeah, he's just,
Okay.
he looks like a fun guy I want to hang out with.
Yeah, and that ad performs really well. Now again, there are certain groups that ad does not perform well in. Followers or fans of Grant Cardone, that ad performs like piss.
What's wrong with those people?
But people who follow,
don't like
They,
this guy.
yeah, you got to suit up and you got to sell. That guy is.
But-
Oh, yeah, he's not
suiting
serious
up.
enough, maybe. Yeah, it
Yeah.
could be.
No, I
Right.
think that's the.
it's too, he's not polished enough for
He's
that
too
group.
hippie for me.
Yeah.
But people who follow Amy Porterfield, that ad performs well. People who follow Gary Vee, that ad performs really well.
I think it's a difference between casual and.
Okay.
And serious.
You needed more a business professional.
Yeah.
So casual and serious, that is another question. We get hit quite a bit on chat, on intercom. Do you guys only write funny ads?
Yes.
Yeah.
That, well, and part of that is when we show them samples, or when they go self-seeking samples, all they know is they can look at our ads, right?
Right, and they see the humor in our ads and the
Right.
way we present, but that's us creating our brand voice. We don't do that with everybody. So
Well,
how do
don't
we,
even do that with ourselves. I mean, the hammock ad there's nothing humorous about that at all.
Right.
so how do we, do we need to address that somehow in an ad or two, or do we just address it as it comes in on intercom?
I think that might be some good creative that we do is we do couple of heavy storytelling ads, just like we would for a client. Those ones that are compelling, that grab you, that hit your pain points.
Do you want to write those?
Yeah.
I've been thinking for a while that we should have a page that we can send people to that is ad samples.
Okay.
Whether it links out to them in their native environment or they're somehow housed there, it doesn't really matter. But taking some of our best ads and maybe getting some permission from some of our clients that we know we feel
Would
these
be
are
cool
really
with us,
outstanding,
right.
and having a page, but we could then mix it up on the page or even break it down by here's more humorous stuff, here's more serious stuff. Like I don't know how exactly to create categories, but almost someplace, because I've gotten that same feedback from the chat guys that it's probably the number one thing they get asked about is can you give me samples? Can you?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so we can put samples in text in there, but they don't always translate as well, right?
Right, without seeing the
Having-
snapshot of the
seeing
ad.
it in context, right?
Okay.
I think, and with some kind of verbiage at the top that explains that, we're writing the copy, but we wanted to show you it in context, and so we can supply the images, we can supply the video. Showing people in context, I think, is powerful. It also would save those chat guys a ton of time in having to go and research and find samples, and it would give people a variety of things. We'd have to be very careful about picking.
Right.
So that they weren't all humorous, so that they weren't all serious, so that there was some. There's an ad that I know we still show people the swimming school.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very
That-
serious.
That is, yeah, it grabs you, right? So get their permission. Like, that's a great example of one that would showcase. No, they're not all serious. Look at this.
Right.
Mhm.
So a page, or maybe even a couple pages. One that's all serious stuff. One that's, I don't know how we want to split it up, but
We could add the house fire to that too.
we'll call it our
Go along
ad
with the drowning
showcase.
one. The house
whatever.
fire.
Oh, for the duct cleaning service. As long as we get their permission,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
And if not, then we rewrite another one that's in a similar vein, and
For XYZ, we
or
can
take it to an ad
genericize.
company and
Right.
we can write some ads specific for,
Mhm.
No, that way we're not. But yeah, I don't have a problem. As long as we get client permission, I don't have a problem using any of the ads that we've done.
If I was a client,
You'd
the
want that.
downside,
Right.
I might, assuming I'm not super hyper local, I might accidentally get a customer out of it. Like, I can't see a downside to it.
Right.
But,
Okay.
I mean, it's an easy ask.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not hard at all. My concern is that because people don't. So
Agency clients may not want it because they wouldn't want their end client to know. They won't. They basically use us transparently.
yeah, but
or not
what?
transparently.
Yeah, they white label. But what is the chance of their client accidentally stumbling upon us?
Yeah,
Then their
I
ad.
wouldn't even want to take the chance.
Right.
But non-agency clients, I would think.
Yeah,
would love the idea.
right. Like I know already, and I can say this because I know the owner of the company. I met him in New York in October. The laundry service in Brooklyn.
Mhm.
I know I can just make a phone call to Waleed and go, "Hey, dude, can we feature one of your ads?" And he'd be, happy to do it. So I'm not even worried about that. I think we just have to go through a couple of customers,
Yep.
look at some of the ads, and then figure out which ones we want to feature.
There's one of our agency clients that's not actually an agency. They just use the agency
They just
package
have
because they
high
consume
volume,
it. Right,
yeah.
and they're a orthodontist.
Okay.
Probably would be totally down for it. And there's a couple of them. There's a couple of humorous ones. We've done some serious ones for them too.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a bunch. It wouldn't take long to find.
Okay. So I think we can go through a few of those and start.
Maybe just start with ads and then we come back, and because people sometimes want samples of landing pages, email sequences, whatever, which may be separate pages to send them to. But start with ads since that's the number one requested by far.
Do you have to have access to the samples? Like, do you have to be a client first in order to access the samples?
No, you shouldn't have to be. Here's why. That's again in chat. That's one of the number one things. Hey, can you send us samples of some of your ads?
That people
And-
are looking for, that they've heard of us, they've seen the reviews, they're relatively confident that we're the right place. They've
They
tried a
just wanna make
freelancer and been
sure.
disappointed. They're frustrated with themselves, right? But even though, in my brain it's $50, just go try one ad and see how we perform. They're just looking for some little extra reassurance. So if we could make it where they could easily find it on the site by themselves, that would be awesome, right? Especially if it's either exist, or companies that are happy to have us showcase them,
Right.
then
My biggest concern is that creative is super subjective.
Right.
Yep.
And so somebody could read that and go, well, I don't want this. Well, that's the way we wrote that one ad.
right, that's why it has to be not an ad, it has to be a sampling of ads.
A
So that
series
they
of
can go,
ads.
Not a fan of that, that's okay. Ooh, this I really like, right?
Right.
We all do that. You don't stop shopping at a store because they have 2 products that you despise. You stop because they have no products you like.
Right.
Customer service is bad, whatever
Right.
it is.
Yeah. Your experience every time you go in there sucks. Therefore, you're going to stop going there.
Right. But there'll be things that I don't like, fine, but there's stuff I do, so.
By the way, could we get some better wine glasses? We have to. Like, these are great.
We should, we have a little kitchenette. There's no reason why we don't have. All right. I will consider this my mission.
What?
I'm gonna
Better
use
wine
my-
glasses? Like
I've
these
got,
are.
I've got a bunch of the stemless kind, which are better for not knocking over.
Yeah.
No, those
And
are
a little
great.
less fancy, so.
These are way less fancy. This is like, but they're good.
Yeah.
They work. And the wine is good. I like this
It's
wine.
better than a paper bag and passing the bottle around.
That would not be good. Okay,
It's not on camera.
that's
Might be
true.
really good on camera.
Might be very good. Hey, welcome to Ad Zombies. This is how we get it done.
Sometimes you need inspiration.
Okay.
That's a good show. What's in the bag?
Right.
So let's talk about the book and the course and how those two play into our marketing and the value that they bring to the marketing, because that's one of the things. So my goal is this week, Laura is expecting more content from me for the book. My goal is this week to give her about 9 hours worth of material. The manuscript is already past 50 pages.
Do you have a goal?
I was gonna say, do you have a target page count?
200, 250?
Okay. So something that's not too crazy of a read, you can finish it on a long
Pretty
flight.
standard.
Correct. But again, so she's sending me a lot of questions, and the questions are very, as I read them, they're very self-serving, and that's not what I want to do.
So let's talk about that.
So right, no. I'm delivering a little mix of content I'm answering those questions, but I'm not going crazy deep on those, because it's not about me. It's about my goal is with this book to target people who are 45 to 55, who are stuck in a job that they hate, working for a boss that's a dick, and they want out, but they just don't know how to do it. And
You may not give them the answer on how, but you may give them the inspiration to go figure out their how.
correct. And
So also recognize that she's great at what she does, Laura, right? If she keeps asking for something repetitively that you feel like you don't want to give, maybe give it to her anyway, because she might know more about what this needs to be than you do,
right.
because that's what her job
Right.
is.
I can write short form ad copy. I'm good all day long.
You
Right.
could-
Writing a book, not my thing.
You could give that to her, and you could say in context, I just don't want this to be overly self-serving, and she might figure out something to do with it that
Right.
isn't.
There, or
Think about clients that give us
way more
a little bit
information.
more room to, here's the information you need to write, but style, it's up to you. If you think long form is good, go long form. If you think short form is good, go short form. When they give us room to breathe, that's usually some of the best stuff we produce, right?
Right.
Give her some room to breathe, but make sure she understands, I don't want this is not an ego thing at all. Please make sure
Right.
whatever you do. Plus, you get rounds of edits and revisions, and so you can always fix that if that happens. But I think if you can just state to her, I'm looking for this to be the opposite of an ego boost, right? So I'll give you what you're asking for, because I want you to have some free reign to do what you think needs to be done. But please don't get on that path. I think
Okay.
it's fun. And then give her what you ask for.
Okay, so I'll give her more of that. So I'm shooting for about 9 hours this week of stuff to give her.
I think you can go a little younger too
What do you mean?
with your audience, because
People start
You
getting
know,
frustrated earlier
well,
than 45.
Yeah, and we worked together for a long time.
Right.
I was still at a job, and knowing what you did at the age that you did it inspired me. I'm like, well, it's not that I have tons of time, but I can do it.
Right.
Here you are.
Yeah, and here, yeah. So
You left something that you weren't really digging, and you
Okay.
found your home.
See, for me, what about that target audience speaks to me, because that's where I was in that time of my life and I wasn't miserable. And right, I was happy. You know, the media company that I was working for, they were good to me. I was making good money, but at the end of the day, I was ready for new
It was
challenges.
the jerks before that really got your skin.
Just let it go. Anyway,
You know which jerks I'm talking about,
You're
right?
frustrating.
I'm talking about data doctors.
oh no,
Those
those,
jerks.
no, those jerks, they're fine. But you know, I
But
want.
I'm just saying, like, it's inspiring to someone even younger than 44.
Okay. And they might tap into it, but that's in my head, my target audience is me
Right.
at 45
Mm-hmm.
and up to 55.
But wouldn't you have told yourself, the 35-year-old self, do this sooner?
I would have, but then my dad made a really good point, because I talked to him about, I wish I had jumped out sooner, done this sooner, and he says, yeah, but you jumped out at the right time, because had you jumped sooner, it could have failed. And
But when you did jump, I mean, it would have
right,
failed either way.
right. But it happened at the right time for the right reason, and here's where you are.
Right. I mean,
So
it's obviously worked out, so you can't go back and second guess because you can't go back.
you can't go back in time, right?
Something could have turned out differently, but that
Right.
could be better or worse or the same. Who
Right.
knows?
So, okay, so the book is on track right now for manuscripts back mid-June,
Okay.
and then
Manuscript?
full manuscript ready.
Then revisions, edits, whatever.
Right,
so
and summer ready to go for the book launch. So before we talk about pre-sale of the book, I want to talk about the course. Your idea when we were in Mexico, I really liked your idea of anybody who gets the course
Packaging, yeah.
gets the book is a it gets packaged with it. It's a freebie. You add on. Here you go.
When we were talking about that, we were also talking about creating other things where let's add value to a package of things.
Right, where the book
Not
is
face value, but
real value. Right, something that's substantial. So we're trying to figure out what those pieces are. Does the book get bolted onto more than one thing, not just the course? Does it get bolted onto a multi-pack, or does it? I'm trying to figure out, do we pre-market, pre-sell the book, right? Get our interest list going, and that list is also potential marketing customers, right?
Yep.
That people are going to come to us and use us for copywriting. My goal is not to sell them on copywriting services. My goal is to, hey, if you're stuck in your career and you're looking to get out, here's how I did it. Here's what I followed.
Right, but they may, I mean, once they find out about the brand, they may become customers.
Right.
But that's not to be your goal. It just might just happen.
Does the book get? Is it a value add for certain things but not others?
We could test it.
Okay.
You know, back, was it November, December? We did multi-pack sales where we sold multi-packs at discounted prices. You could do the similar kind of thing, but instead of discounted prices, multi-pack includes this.
Okay.
And see if people find value in that, you'll know by the numbers. If
Okay.
They don't,
Then the answer is no.
And what are your thoughts on adding, so it's a course,
Right.
and once they go through the course, run your ad through our writers.
So what I wanted to do was something really.
Or flip, if you had an ad written by
By
us,
us.
the course is discounted, right?
Okay.
There you go.
Because we end up with a fair number, I don't know the percentages, but a fair number of people that get back the stuff and then either because they don't have the time or the expertise or the knowledge, they don't know what to do with the stuff, right? They got their copy, now what?
Right.
So
Okay.
it's a natural, it's the gateway drug, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do we take people who have so one of the things that I was thinking of doing, and this is one of those shower thoughts. I'm standing in the shower and the water's hitting my head and I'm like, oh wait, this'll work.
Fully
Uh,
clothed.
fully
That's the worst part.
It's because of the way I shower.
I dream of it, you're fully clothed, I know that.
Do we provide a little added value for people who pre-purchase on the course? And like the first
First X number of people.
20, maybe 30, I don't know, we can come up with a number, they get an hour of consult time with me, or an hour of brand, right? So to where they're not just getting the course.
The course, just because my memory isn't super fresh in this, the course is teaching them how to write their their own copy, right?
Right. The course.
The course is putting us out of business.
Okay, essentially.
Right. Okay.
Right. The course
Which is
is
funny, by the way.
right. The course is words that sell.
Yeah. But we're going to teach them at least
Copywriting
the
for
first step of
business.
how to write.
Correct.
Okay.
And it's all going to be how to write effective ad copy for your business. Because that's, to me, the biggest challenge is forget about the size of the business, the dollar volume of the business. Most businesses that are not multi-million-dollar corporations don't have in-house copywriters. They don't have the budgets.
I know as
And
well.
the crap that they produce is crap. It's not good copy. So if we can help them along their journey create better copy and become more effective at writing, it's a win for us. Because at the end of the day, they might write the copy for their landing pages because they learned something in the course, but they may still say, I don't have the time.
Right. I was going to say, there'll be some that at the end of this, the net result is they'll never need our services.
Right.
But I bet you there'll be far more who have a new appreciation for what copywriting is. There are guys like me that I have skills in 1.5 areas, and copywriting is not and will never be one of them.
Right.
And I also don't have the time, and so the combination is I might be interested in the course, thinking maybe I can learn, and at the end of it I'll still go, nope, I'm not creative, right?
Right.
And even if I was, I don't have the time, but these guys clearly have a grasp. So, in a weird way, I just paid to become your customer, right?
It's like Amazon Prime.
A little bit.
You know, but I think there's enough
And
there.
I wouldn't feel bad about it. I learned something along the way, and I got
Right.
a new appreciation. And here you go, take more, because you got to write my copy.
Is there something to adding this course to actual copywriters and becoming AdZombie certified? And something
You mean
put
for
on
our-
as like
for
part of your
people
To
like
bring
your
people
group?
into us.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I always thought that this is probably course one of what will become a series of courses.
Right.
But maybe long term, that's not a bad like side burner thing to stick out there. Some process. If there's a course, it's certainly easy enough to test people on their retention of and their ability to take course material and apply it to the real world.
Right.
But maybe that's a really cool idea for down the road, vetting people, right? Because right now we vet people by having them submit us a couple of samples of their work, or we give them an assignment basically to write. But that might be A, it would be more thorough than what we currently do, and B, it's a little bit of a commitment for somebody to take the course, get certified, go through that, right? That shows a whole different level of interest in wanting to do what we wanted to do, right? And we might be willing to take people that, if you're not zombie certified, then here's our pay structure. And if you are, here's our pay structure. Give you an incentive to go down that path, because it's good for them, good for us.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So become as
increase the pay structure based on
Right.
certification.
And maybe even
that'd be
take
great.
writers that we have that are good, but we know could be better, and we give them a pathway, a career development, right? I've learned over years of having employees, managing people, that everybody wants to, they want to know where they're at.
Right.
Not, the old annual raise really is annual review, and if they're doing well, raise, right? That's, people want to know, they want to know where they stand, they want to know what things could I improve in, and if possible, give me more than just the things I can improve in, help me improve in them.
Right.
Give me a course of action. If you can do X, Y, and Z and perform at this level in this area where you're a little deficient, then you're more valuable to me, in which case I'm going to pay you more to.
And you feel like you're accomplishing something anyway.
Right. That
Okay.
could be really cool. Like, forget the
So
recruiting
so
side,
become a
but somebody
become a
recruiting-
zombie certified writer or an ad zombie certified writer.
That way people aren't picking up your book and taking off.
But we have a few writers right now that they've shown some great skills, right? They're running in the right direction, but we would still like to elevate their skills a little bit more. They probably want to elevate their own
because
skills.
they're just not used to doing what we do.
Right.
And what we do is so unique and
Very
different. That's why
specific. Yeah.
the vetting process takes a long time. A course, a certification, that would be awesome.
So my only challenge is on the course creation side, because we're still in the middle of it. is it copywriting general overall, or do we get into any of the specifics of copywriting for specific platforms?
So maybe that's, remember what I said, this might be part 1 of a series. Maybe then parts 2, 3, and 4 are copywriting for, and a prerequisite before you take this course is you've already taken the other, because this is going to pick up where we left off over there,
Okay.
going down this path.
Okay.
And then you create however many outlets you need for.
Look at that. That was the most even pour.
That's pretty close.
You finished the bottle, and it was
the
a.
scales of justice. We might weigh out pretty close here.
That was pretty good. I'm impressed. You did that like a pro without a dribble too.
So we just came up with 2 really interesting ideas for the course, right? The course was going to be something we sold to businesses, but we kind of already knew that we had a fair number of people that didn't know what to do, or they were
Right.
stuck with, what do I do, right? But I love the idea of, even more than a recruiting tool for Ads I'll Be Certified, taking existing writers and the ones that are interested. In the data doctors world, we have a industry standard certification called A+ certification. It's kind of the base level. If you go to an auto repair shop, what are the ASE certified?
ASE.
Similar kind of thing in our world, right? When we look for people, if they have that certification, that tells us that they have base level knowledge of how stuff works and what things are, and how to identify the parts. And so it's always helpful to know that, but we don't require that. But plenty of people that come to workforce that don't have that will go through that, and so we offer, if you go through that process and you become certified, we'll pay for the certification, and we'll give you a pay increase. Same kind of thing we could do where we give them an incentive, because it's going to help them be better writers for us. It's going to help them, because the reality is it's rare that people stay in the same job forever, right?
Yeah.
So,
And
to
I
me,
mean, I love coaching, but
there's only so much you can do.
as the team grows. Yeah.
And we need a more scalable way to coach, and this might be it.
Right.
This could be a very good way to do that.
It gives them a way to develop as writers, whether they stay with us forever or they go somewhere.
Right.
That's okay.
Now, that wasn't a shower thought that came to my mind. That was I woke up in the morning. I
like
swear. I stood out of bed and I thought about your course, and I thought, what if we did that for writers?
That's probably not a bad idea, and then we can go into micro content, which is writing for this platform, writing for that platform, landing pages, email sequences, right?
All different types, blogs.
Right.
Because they all have very specific things that change, right? So the storytelling is still the basis for all of that, which is why what you're doing right now is course 1. But like when you go to school for whatever specialty degree you went to school for, you still need your English 101 and 102. You still need all these base things, because you can't go.
They want the
learn
diverse,
how to do
well-rounded.
this without the base of that.
Right. Okay. I like that.
That might give you a whole bunch of new ideas now for
Well, that
other
kind of
courses.
so you're doing the course. It kind of marries the idea of I wanted to do training for onboarding writers.
Why not?
Why not?
One and the
Right.
same.
This goes. Yeah. This is perfect for that.
And that may be a way to promote the courses. This is the training we use internally for our writers.
Yeah.
This is how, if you love the stuff we produce, this is the secret sauce of how we produce it. This is what our writers go through.
Right. Because really, the reality is without the course, we're still teaching them the stuff that we're putting in the
doing it
course.
now, just one-on-one.
Right. Now we're putting it into a more formal, structured piece that can be used by businesses everywhere.
We're literally, here's the secret sauce of
Right.
how we produce what we produce. Here it is.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot.
Best idea of our get-together, the award
Goes to Sean.
Hughes.
That and on top of the pour.
That's good.
Even poor.
Even
and
poor and a great idea.
You might get tacos for Tuesday.
All about that.
Tacos will be next. I want to talk a little bit about the QA process versus. So we're running into some issues in Podio in the way stuff is QA'd. There's only 2 people in the company that have the ability to QA their own work.
Right.
Me and him.
Right.
Everybody else has to go through QA process.
Right.
Um,
Let 'em.
And I think that you and I QAing our own work is a slippery slope.
It should be
It already has become one.
Right.
only when absolutely necessary, and as soon as we have a few more full-time writers,
Mhm.
I think we take that out too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably leave it for you because you rarely write, so the chances of you QAing, but it's always good to have some, without having to call me and say, hey, can you turn that off really quick so I can,
Right.
Right.
I'll shoot you, so I'll probably just leave.
I need it. Wait, my favorite one is I
need a
I
magic
need your
button.
magic button. I need a button. Listen, could we make a button that when you do this, but it work though?
Yeah.
The magic buttons
Magic
work,
button is-
You never know when you're gonna get one.
right?
Yeah.
Like the one for
So I try to balance your request for magic buttons with, if I gave you every magic button you've asked for, or would ever ask for, you would have a screen full of 1,000 buttons.
Yeah.
And so, how do I help you from tripping over yourself and stabbing yourself with the letter opener, right?
Well, next it's gonna be voice command. That's
Right.
It's not gonna
Yes.
be button.
I need
It's-
a-
I want to be able to say and have it do.
We
it.
could probably figure out the voice dictation for the writing.
Alexa, right?
Oh,
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
You know,
how
that,
can I help you?
but no, it's I like the magic buttons. The magic buttons work really well,
Yeah.
and but the self QAing process,
Yeah.
We know that's inherently wrong. We
Right.
shouldn't be doing it. So,
Right.
you know, it's in our early stages. It's been a necessary evil. I don't think it's going to be a necessary evil very much longer.
so the question is who, forget about who on our team currently, how do we fix or resolve so that I don't want you ever having to QA, but you can't wait for me, because me QAing is gonna delay stuff getting done.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a rush, and
Right.
I think we're going to solve that problem in 16 days.
Okay.
So I don't think we need to spend a lot of time
more
figuring it
people
out.
we add.
As we bring on more writers and more full timers,
Because
The
there's gonna
freelance
be
writers are
writers.
harder to, but so I'm saying on staff writers.
our staff
That
writers.
stops that, so was
Because
it
if
16
you're
days from now?
capable of writing the ad, you're capable of
QAing.
yeah.
QAing to me is the hardest part of it is not assuming anything. You got to go back and reread not just what was written, what was requested, right?
Right.
And it's super easy to go look for spelling and grammar issues, and not look for, wait a minute, what did the client actually want?
Yeah.
Because sometimes as the writer, you get caught up in, you're researching and brainstorming, right, and then writing. And so you read, you researched, you brainstormed, then you wrote, and sometimes you forget to look back to go, hey, my brainstorm, does that actually accomplish what they were hoping for?
And that's what like
Meaning
our
target
main
audience,
QA
meaning-
person. That's what she does really well.
Yes.
So
And I
She
noticed-
goes back to the brief, and she looks at it, and she's like, "This is not matching up with what they requested."
She assumes nothing.
Right.
So, and I'm only asking this question because you said something that triggered the question. Would we be better off long term having a QA person do the QA and then a final proofreader? Or does that QA person handle both of those?
That time-wise might take too long, but a lot of places do it that way.
Double QA, basically?
Mm-hmm.
Right, because the QA person is going to make the adjustments.
You get an editor and then a proofreader.
So your proofreader is spelling and
Yeah.
grammar kind of thing?
Yeah, so you get writer, editor, proofreader.
Editor is checking to make sure overall does this
Everything.
match?
Editor does like the entire QA thing, doesn't
Okay.
assume anything.
And proofreader's only
And
catching dumb grammar
grammar.
spelling.
Yep.
Right.
So they're a quick check, because they don't care to look at what the client
Right.
requested.
Usually
Right.
the editor took care of all that.
Right.
But
It's a double check.
It's
on
like how many
dumb stuff.
how many ads have we sent out? Probably a dozen over the thousands that we've delivered, where there's been a double the
Right.
or
And we've delivered it and usually caught it within 30 seconds, and then
like,
the
oh
chief will
crap,
say,
it's been delivered.
Hey, no one wanted to send you. And, yeah.
Hey, sorry, ignore that email.
Yep.
There was a mistake, right?
I don't know why I hit send and then went, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I think that
But how
that
because you sent emails saying, look at whatever attachment, and you forgot to attach it, and then you realize it seconds later and go, oh yeah, here's the attachment. It's the same exact thing.
could okay. So let's talk about that process in Podio. You seem to have the struggle of assign QA,
Mark
that
complete.
mark complete.
Yeah, I'm gonna build a behind the scenes magic button to prevent that, I think.
Okay, you're gonna chimplify it.
I'm gonna look to see if I can, what I'm gonna try to do is, when you try to ship something to the client, the actual send and confirm and comments, when that magic button is pressed, I'm gonna attempt to see if I can have the system look to see if there's a PDF attachment, because we know that's a bare minimum that everything has to have.
Right.
If there's not, send you a, hey dummy, you gotta do this stuff first, right?
So, bare minimum PDF is not accurate, because if it's a Snapchat or a Snapchat ad, or if it's a
Oh, the
Instagram stories ad,
That's right, it's gonna be a video only.
it'll be a video only. And so that,
I could probably look and say if it's those two.
if it's
buttons,
those two,
that's-
ignore them.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm gonna start with the 85% of our world, which is not those
Right.
two
Okay,
things.
okay.
But
I just was thinking about that long term.
Yeah.
I'm like, that could be a problem.
almost everything I build will break on some small fraction of some percent of things, and then you'll tell me, and then I'll go, oh yeah, because duh. But
This works.
now,
Okay.
now I'll have that fraction of a percent covered, but something else I'll miss, I'm sure. That's it.
Are we having a lot of problems with customers that are getting the video preview? Have you been using the extra text field with the video previews now? Does that effectively handle the issue of customers saying, not knowing what to do with the video preview? Because the video preview has an email that generates automatically.
Yeah, I think we ought to look at that email and rewrite that email slightly to explain to them where they're at in the process and what happens after, right? We get a number of people that don't quite get that this is just approval for the video preview, the copy's gonna come later.
Right, we have a client right now that we're having that issue with, and so what he does is, rather than reply to the approval email, he starts a new thread.
Yeah, and
And
it makes it hard to connect all the dots.
Right, so if you're seeing it, but somebody else is working on the ad, and then it goes into their queue
Right.
because they're working on the ad, it's kind of a disjointed mess. So I think,
But I think if we could give them a better, almost like when you're in the mall and you go to the directory, and there's a little circle that says
You are here.
And because figuring out where you're going is cool, but it doesn't help if you don't know where you're starting from, right? So they need to understand where they're at in the process currently.
okay,
And what's still to come. If we can paint that picture for them with words or images or a combination where you're here, and so what you're seeing is only this piece, and that's okay.
okay.
And we need feedback or green light so that we can produce the rest, right?
Yeah,
So-
because that's the challenge, is that the ad copy is pretty much done on this particular project, but we're struggling to get the video approval, and because the video approval is not going through the system, because the customer is going outside of the system generating it, it's kind of slowing down the
For
whole
this particular guy,
process.
The easy thing probably to do is deliver the ad, and then as soon as it's delivered, it'll mark itself as completed, but go put it to
Add-on,
add-on waiting or something like, whatever that status
the
is.
magic button.
Yeah, the add-on one, not
The
the
magic
rewrite
button.
one,
Right,
the add-on
right.
one, so that we know we still own that after he gives us approval for it. Because then he's just having a tough time, I think, conceptualizing in
The
context.
video with the copy.
Right.
And
Here you go.
And
sometimes I know we
only had it a couple times where
we
like, well,
like
what's
to-
the copy that goes with this video?
Right, we like to
Right.
create the video first to make sure they're on board with that concept and then write the ad around what the video was.
Mhm.
But some people just, I'm one of those guys that I sometimes,
You need,
stuff you've done for my other brand, you've sometimes sent me the video and I'm like, I like the video, but I'm having a tough time kind of grasping where this goes.
Yeah.
So I understand their pain because
It's like it's
you've
like
been a
puzzle
customer
piece.
essentially.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like a cool puzzle piece, but what's the rest of it?
I've
look like?
received it and I've gone, yeah, this is great stuff, but help me understand.
The
And
context.
you're like, oh yeah, no, I don't necessarily have to see it in context, but knowing what the general direction of the ad is,
Okay.
help me go, okay, yeah, because my analytical brain says, well, yeah, this is cool, but only if it matches. And duh, like, we're gonna create stuff that doesn't match, right?
Right, but the customer doesn't know that.
But left brain thinkers like this guy, I think that the rest of the world maybe doesn't know that that has to happen, and I only know that, right?
Right.
I'm not saying that, I'm saying it as like, we have, not in an egotistical kind of way, but we have left brain thinkers, guys like me, tendency to think that we're the only guys that know what needs to be done, when clearly that's not the case.
So
Right.
what if we do away with the approval process? We send it, no. So
Okay.
Just like we would send.
Sorry
an
about
ad.
that. That wasn't an inhale of no. That was just like a.
What
We-
he's saying,
we
I think, is
send-
we send it.
We send the ads and they say,
And-
oh, I want to rewrite. Well, it could be the same with the video. I like the copy, but.
So what you're saying is, I think, we deliver with the preview, and the last step we still need is for you to approve the
Approve the
preview
video.
for us to then re-deliver you the.
Yeah.
The problem is in the system is
Because it
it's
feels out of
completed
order
and
for
done.
them.
But it doesn't, I mean, we're talking about a small percentage.
Yeah.
I know we haven't done a ton of video, we just added it recently, but it's gotta be less than 10% of people have this struggle.
No, it's a small percentage.
I think
but-
maybe let's first try the better explanation in the email that comes about the video to, here's where we're at in the process and here's what's still to come.
So
We
may-
need this part approved, almost with an emphasis on the ad copy. It's based off of this, and so we need your approval on the direction we're taking to make sure before
Okay.
we write. Whether or not we've actually written or not yet.
Is it right?
It just, people need a reason why sometimes.
So a few weeks ago, you sent me the email that goes out because that's where I figured out where I wanted to put the extra line
Yep.
that the team gets to say, hey, this is just a preview. Perhaps
Go back and
sending,
review that and just see
or
what
I'll
needs to be in all
or
of
I'll
it.
send it to you, and you can kind of dig through it and go, hey,
Okay.
this is the way I would write it, and just rewrite it and then send it on to Brandon.
But I think the best, like I said, is if you could conceptualize the mall directory, that
Yeah.
here's where you're at in the process and here's what's still to come.
Yeah, because I can
That
see why
helps.
people are like, why am I tying my shoes before I put them on my feet?
Right, I'd be that guy. That's
Right.
So I know what would make me go, oh, okay, I get it.
One further, perhaps in the rewrite of that, you can include what we're now including in the extra line of preview text, because I think it's pretty consistent. This is just a preview,
Yeah.
right? So maybe
Oh,
Default
of
that
the
in.
ad.
Yeah. if
Of
you're-
the
if you're-
video.
If you're putting the similar kind of thing in every single time, that extra text thing,
Mhm.
if you're putting pretty much a similar boilerplate thing in every time, why don't you just tell me what that is and we'll just make that part of
Mhm.
the thing so that your extra text is only stuff outside of the norm, right?
that makes a lot of sense. Because what we're trying to do is minimize the wasted energy. It's like it's just like when people come to the website.
But it's also tough to explain sometimes too, because sometimes video will be so kind of out of the box.
Compared to
that
what
it
they're
doesn't
right,
matter
right.
What the copy is, because this is to get their attention. Then they read, then they click.
So, but that could even be part of what we send them is, remember, the goal of this part of the ad
Okay.
is to stop
Yeah, if
people
we
from
include
scrolling
that,
and get
that's
their
important.
attention,
Right.
so that
'Cause we
they
find-
actually read
yeah.
what we write.
Because we find ourselves explaining that, that's probably perfect to put in there.
So it's a here's where we're at in the process, here's where we're
Yep.
going. Don't forget, the goal of this part of the process is to get you on board or make sure we're on the right path,
Right.
but it's to stop people from
Just scrolling.
scrolling on by, so that they'll actually read the words of your ad
Yeah.
to then connect with whatever your goal is.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge or the disconnect that many customers have, and I know we have a high approval rating. We have like, and I'm guessing it's higher than 90%. You said we have
Oh,
a
yeah,
10% customers that don't. I think our approval rating on the first round is probably at 95
So
plus.
just click approve, done.
The ones that don't click approve don't understand the why we chose that specific video, or it'll be something like
So
the
this
music.
particular guy, by the way, there's more information. So he's a guy that we just solved this problem, so we won't have more guys like this. But he went through, purchased, and rather than use the link in his email to fill out the creative brief, he used the link that we used to have at the bottom of the page to fill out the creative brief, which means he didn't get
Mm.
asked about
Okay.
video style, music style, right? Had he done those things, he might have picked a style that we would have then followed, which without that,
Right.
we end up in this case.
But
where
that's gone
that
now.
helps understand part of the process in and of itself. Yeah,
That link doesn't
link
exist.
anymore.
Okay. Yeah, that link was there specifically
There
to
was
because.
another guy that on Friday you pinged me when we were in Mexico on a guy that had the video and you're like, can we make this an add-on, same exact thing. He went a different path than the path we put out for him, and so it just, I think we've solved that.
And
Yeah.
I didn't have a way to do it myself. That's
Right.
the only-
Yeah, that link was there because a lot of times people say, well, what do I need to be prepared for in the brief process?
Right.
So now we've got it, it's not there. We have direct access to it so that if someone asks, we can say, hey, here's the link. And by the way, don't use this to fill out your form. This is just a sample brief.
I actually thought about creating a dummy one that they can submit all they want, it just won't do anything.
It just won't do anything. I think that's a good idea because that'll happen. Someone's going to
So
go,
when you click submit, it says, like good test run or something.
Yeah, and it doesn't ask for the order number because you don't have an order number, but we can say, at this question, you'd be putting in an order number because you don't have one because so it's an obvious, this is test mode. We'll give them 3 or 4 places throughout it where we're running on this test mode.
because we've had, I want to say twice in the last year, which is nothing, and, but we've had customers say, I placed an order and I'm not getting my ad. Where is it? No, you didn't place an order. You found the link. You created a brief.
Another reason why that shouldn't be there.
Right. And so there was never an order processed.
Right.
And they're like, well, what do I do now? And there have been times where a person went online, placed the order, and because the brief was sitting in there in the system with nothing attached to it, you said, hey, don't worry, we'll attach it, because he had already filled out an extensive brief.
Right, don't redo the brief.
But did nothing, right, okay.
Yeah.
So, creating magic buttons for everyone.
Magic buttons.
Yeah.
Magic buttons I like.
That's what I do, I'm a magic button guy.
What do we need to, is there any,
Magic button maker, I'd like that to be my new title.
you want that on your cards?
Magic button maker.
Magic button maker. That'd be great on your cards.
That'd be a 30-second explanation of what that actually means.
When we go to VoiceCon, you hand out your cards. Magic button maker. What? I was gonna have it. I was gonna have it be your. What do you say right now on Get Stuff Done?
Chief Make It Happen guy.
Chief Make It Happen guy. Chief Make It Happen guy, AKA
And
Magic button maker.
Head button cooker.
That might be an annoying button pusher. I love to push buttons.
You're the button pusher. Is there anything missing from the store right now as it stands for customers? Is there anything that you go, holy crap, we're missing this, we should have this? Because one of the things that keeps in the back of my mind with the new relationship that we have with 6th Division is, and all the Infusionsoft customers that use this as well, is do we want to create some sort of package, and I don't know what that is, of a couple of Facebook ads with a landing page and a 3 email sequence. So kind of an all-in-one.
I'm generally not a huge fan of packages, and I'll tell you why. You'll create what you think are, here's the 5 packages.
That customers need.
And you will get people going, okay, this is great, but I don't need 3 ads, I'll need 2.
Right.
Or you have a 2 email sequence, but I need a 4 email sequence. Or there's so many unlimited options that the reality is we have that today, right? So separate sales from process for a second. It's a sales issue that you need a package of things.
Right.
Well, the sales way to solve that is you need to check out with X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
And if you need to close the sale, here's a discount code because you're buying X, Y, and Z together. Operationally, it's a nightmare to have 10 million packages because at the end of the day, it's the same 12 building blocks over and over and over and over and over.
Just a different configuration of the block.
Right.
Okay.
So it's really difficult to go down the path of creating packages. I understand from a sales standpoint why that's attractive. But
I even think from a customer standpoint, it's not that attractive. Other than the discount, it's not that attractive.
if you
It's like,
happen to have
hey,
something
you
that
get
fits
cable
exactly.
for $50, you get 300 channels.
But when you
You're
bundle,
only gonna use 5.
Right.
Look at the trend of everybody, because of cord cutting, having to unbundle. They don't want to unbundle, but they're having to because otherwise they're going to get dropped completely. So you want to be able to pick and choose, fine, we can do that.
Everything's become a la carte.
okay. So we keep it as is.
Imagine if at home, your high-speed internet also came with television and telephone. And otherwise you can't have it.
Okay.
How's that package feel?
Not so good.
It's such a great value, though. Let me tell you how great of a
Right.
value it is.
Well, it's
The
just
phone
like
is crystal clear, and you can call unlimited, U.S., Mexico, and Canada. Boom! Now I made it huge, didn't I?
Can
Right.
I text them? No.
No, we don't do that. Are you crazy?
right, because it's okay. That makes sense. Yeah, it's like when you go to McDonald's. We had that experience just coming driving home the other day, and when you get a meal, right, whatever it is, the quarter cheese value meal, whatever, you can't opt to get a small fries. It comes with medium by default.
You can large size it, but you're getting
You
both
can't-
the
but
drink
you-
and the thing large.
Right, you can't. There's
Yeah.
no, and that,
I
so
want
it
this
kind of.
large, that small.
So it sucks because I'm just like, well, I just want the burger. Forget that. Because I don't want all the other stuff. Or if I want it, I only want the small version of it.
Then you just get the burger, and then you order your fries and your other thing separate,
Right, which then
which
you're.
costs more.
Well, that's it.
But if you, if
But it's
there's,
what you want.
but if there's no meal that costs less, you don't feel like it's a ripoff.
Right.
Because it's not. You
And
buy
if-
what you want.
And if you buy the thing that's all supersized and only eat half the fries, now you feel guilty because I'm throwing half the fries away.
Yeah.
Right.
I-
And the
So
ones
now
that
I'm gonna
Now-
consume all
now
the
it's
damn
not a
fries.
and the ones that fall in the bag are the best ones.
Oh, the bonus fry?
Yeah, those are the best. Okay, so how does the? Okay, so do we start? So Jeff Minnebach is working on the book cover
Okay.
right now. Do we start pre-selling or getting an interest list on the book, pre-selling? I don't know what we do because we're going to be selling it through Amazon POD.
Okay.
So do we?
Will there be an e-version available too?
An e-version as well,
Okay.
and I'd like to give a bunch away. Right, that's also important to me.
Can they do it when you get the POD, you get the e-version in addition right now?
We can do that.
That'd be cool.
That's an us option.
But I like you could sell either one separate, but if you buy the full on, then you have access to the ebook.
You get both
immediately.
automatically.
Coming soon, audiobook read by Azan.
And I don't know if I want to be the one that reads it. You know who I'd love to have read it, by the way? And he did the open for the podcast. I was so excited. Jim Cutler.
Oh my gosh.
Can you
can't-
imagine
can't even ask. You can't ask.
Jim, I know you're busy doing
Yeah, you can't
ESPN and ABC, but could you do me a favor?
What we really need is we need some female voice too, so Dawn has to chime in with a few things
Right.
for the.
But wouldn't that be cool to have Jim read the book?
Well, I mean, to have Jim read anything is cool, but
Yeah. So anyway, the book. I'm considering. Do we put it on pre-sale? We can. For the
I
course,
think wait till you get the draft manuscript.
then we can pre-sale.
Because then you'll have a better idea of launch date.
Okay.
Right? It's right now it's a little bit.
It's
hard to predict.
ambiguous.
Yeah, getting closer to launch date would be better.
Okay.
And knowing what
I
the
mean,
launch date is,
obviously the artwork would be good because then you can.
Then we'll have a cover.
Yeah.
it just needs to be a little bit more solid than it is today.
And my goal is to get all of the pictures of me with Gary are all like selfies at a conference or a conference picture that somebody else took, and we've got lanyards around our neck. I'm hoping that when we're in, I know, but I'm hoping that when we're in New York in a couple of weeks.
And you could say before this was on my vision board and it's you photoshopped within. Someday.
But I'm hoping that when we're in New York in a couple of weeks, I can get a decent photo of he and I together, whether it's at VaynerMedia or at VoiceCon, to where that could get used inside the cover, in the jacket or whatever of the book.
But there's something kind of cool about not overproduced, so the one with the lanyards and stuff may be just fine.
Yeah, except I
Casual.
just, this is not much to look at. No matter what.
Voice for radio? That's
A voice for radio.
So you're saying you need more
Or face
lanyards.
More lanyards.
More cowbell.
You need lanyards to cover your face.
More cowbell.
Christopher Walken.
We need more cowbell.
Cowbell.
I got a fever.
We so let's talk about the course pre-sale. So we still haven't settled on what the price of the course is going to be retail. My belief is
You've researched that space way more than either of us.
yeah,
Yeah.
my belief is that somewhere between the and I'm throwing the numbers out because I don't know where it lands. $399 and $599 for what we're bringing in the course is good value for the for the price. do we want to take pre-orders for the course, which is still being completed, due out this summer, and
I think you need to know course length, topics include.
well, I've right, I've
whatever
got
it is.
that. But do we start making the pre-orders available now, knowing that we know what the structure of the course is and knowing what we know what the pieces are, and pre-orders between now and June 30th are $2.99 or $1.99 or something. Some like they get a discount
You
for.
gotta figure out what the full price is and then back from there.
Correct. I think the full price is just sitting, to me, $4.99 is the right price.
Why don't you mark it up to mark it down? Just kidding.
I think it's the same thing as the book. You still need, I think you need a launch date. Once you have an idea of when you're done.
July 4th, Independence Day.
Okay.
That's your independence from bad copywriting.
There you go.
But given everything else on your plate, is that a goal or is that a reality? Is that it will happen no matter what at the highest level of quality?
So the only thing between now, so what's slowing me down right now,
Your 500 kids?
five kids.
Close.
Not 500, not quite. What's slowing me down right now is just the next week and a half, pretty efficient. The week between the 17th,
Yeah, your travel.
so, right, I've got 2 commencement speeches in Michigan, then I fly to New York, then we've got VaynerMedia, then we've got VoiceCon, then I fly
Also
back,
Last day of school. and
last day of
other
school,
things.
we've got high school graduation, high school party,
Right.
and then that Friday, whatever that next day is, I don't know if I'm going to be even alive to come in the office that day, or if I'm just going to be like, all right, I'm done, tapped out, I'm going to stay home then.
Actual zombie that day.
Right. That's the only thing. After that, we come into Memorial Day weekend, which is irrelevant to me. I'm not going to go anywhere Memorial Day weekend. So, can the course be done and ready for prime time, July 4th? Absolutely. It gives us,
So despite all that, it's
yes, because I'm not focusing.
So you've got a little bit of time this week, and then you've got the month of June.
Correct. And I'm not focusing any of my attention on your area.
But you also have to get her hours and hours and hours of information for the book.
Right, but
You'll be getting a draft edit that needs to be reviewed, and, right? You're also building ads
you
for
gotta
the
build
brand.
ads, be
and
active in the
You're
groups.
jumping in groups and doing your shotgunning, your sniper approach there, right?
Okay.
There's a lot of things, plus all the stuff that's just gonna come up. This is just all the stuff that we know for sure is on your plate.
Okay. So,
And there's zero writing in there, by the way.
So, I guess what's the priority? Is it the book or the course? Because, I mean, if the book comes out first, then the book might already establish some value, and then it adds value when you say you wanna, if you do this with the course, it's included.
They're
then-
completely different subjects with completely different audiences.
Yeah.
There might be some crossover there, but the guy.
But if the book gets intention, then it might add to the course, the value of.
and I don't know that the book coming out and the course coming out at the same time has any, like, I don't think they need to come out at the same time. They just happen to be aligning.
Well,
They
and
appear to be
that's what,
aligning.
You know, as far as prioritizing with everything going on. If
So-
you- if
Which
you had
one's
to
a bigger
choose-
priority if you had to
yeah.
pick between the two?
I think
Which one's your favorite kid?
I
Sorry,
think
guys.
I think the book is number 1. The
So you'd
course,
flip it.
you'd flip it.
I'd flip it.
What do you think? What would you
know
do?
what a good time to buy a book is? Fall.
Okay.
Especially before
I don't know the answer.
especially before New Year's, and you read this book about, hey, you can start any time, you're gonna change your life.
I feel like there's a couple times a year where you're like New Year's resolutions, spring cleaning, right? These are things that happen in seasons, not because
Right.
of anything other than that's just.
So
But it's a.
I don't disagree with you, but and I totally agree with you, which is part of why I want it done sooner, because if the book is ready by summer, people go in summer. When I'm on the beach, I read or listen to audiobooks.
I witnessed you on the beach and I saw no reading happening.
I was reading The Wine Bottle.
Oh, okay.
But no, I listen to audiobooks at night when I'm chilling out. That's what I do. After we sing karaoke and after we play headband and whatever the
Oh yeah, what was that game? Ding ding.
cha-ching, no,
The Ellen
lower,
DeGeneres
lower.
game.
Oh,
Headbands?
You put the thing-
Is it called
yeah.
headbands?
Where you have to
You pass
act
or
it
you-
out and.
Yeah, no. Everybody's. You've got a thing up here, and they're all describing.
Oh, like the
whatever
celebrity?
phrase
What's
is.
on your screen?
Yeah, but they can't see the words that are in the phrase, and you've got to guess what it is. And then if they get it right, they hear yes, and you go.
Yeah, it's like charades. I don't know what
Kinda.
it's called, but yeah, So we did that at family dinner just because my wife's mom can't handle it. She thinks it's hilarious. She doesn't even guess. She just
starts laughing.
with a phone here. She's laughing, and then it goes, because she's laughing. She's not even
There was
guessing.
plenty of laughter, but I
It's
was
fun.
worried that we were being loud for our neighbors.
Well, we stopped it at about 11:30.
Yeah, 11 o'clock at night, and we're all
Still.
screaming, because everybody just tries to out yell the other. There's a dozen of us on the beach yelling.
And of course, my when I yell things, like everybody's trying to, I go down a completely different path
Yeah.
when I'm trying to give people hints, and
People think I'm not even playing because I go way over here.
Yeah, I go-
His inner freak comes way
Can we
out.
get
You're like,
serious suggestions? I thought it was
Mm,
pretty good.
I thought, just play with me here,
no,
right?
we're doing reverse Siri translations.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
say phrases in Spanish.
In Google
have it
Translate.
Translate it back to English.
That was a part of the night where all the responsible people went to bed,
It was teenage boys and us.
And us.
Which were mentally teenage boys.
and we were sitting there doing Google Translate, and it was some of the worst. It was terrible, and I keep getting texts from my wife, and she's like, "Shh, I can hear you. Quiet down out there."
You're saying some terrible things.
She couldn't hear what we were saying, but she heard the laughter.
I grew up working in restaurants, and so I learned plenty of Spanish, not from textbooks, and I was using some of my phrases trying to make sure that they translated the way I was told they translated, and they were pretty accurate.
It was no bueno though. We were loud.
Yeah.
But so part of my logic or my reasoning behind getting the book ready for summer was that people do go on vacation. They leave their corporate shit job, and now they're getting a little family time. So they're on the beach. They're in a headspace that they're receptive to reading or to getting some information.
Because
So-
they're on break.
Correct.
Their brain is on this. Gosh, I really don't like where I work, and okay. I got
So
it.
that was my
Also,
goal.
You could also make the argument that that's where courses are important because summer and fall are when people are really going to ramp up their ads, and if they can get help writing them, the sooner the better. Whereas people are more likely to purchase in fall.
Part of his push is selfish too. He wants training material for
Oh, for writers. Damn.
Tired of
for
onboarding.
idea number 2.
Yeah, the onboarding process is rough, and I get that. Because we've got to vet them to make sure that they fit,
Yeah.
and that would help
only
you.
lift that so much, and then we just turn them loose, and then we get to find out for real, right? And then,
Right,
Then you're glad we have a QA process sometimes. And other ones you're like, wow, we don't need QA.
right. We have some writers that are just out from the get are just.
You can usually tell within a couple of jobs. It seems like,
We've lost him.
okay, priorities.
He's on his
Kids
He's on his phone.
or wives. whatever.
So the course, I still think both can be ready by summer.
You're a guy that tends to bite off more than you can chew, so we'll be here to help catch the plates as they.
I think they can both be ready. I mean, those are my two
But
focus.
I need you to move from I think to a solid commitment that they're going to be. There's a different thing that you're afraid to say it, and there's probably a reason why.
I just know that things squirrel me so easily.
Yep.
That's what I'm worried about.
But either commit or don't. But if you're not ready to commit yet, then maybe sideburn that for a little bit.
I can commit. Laura's going to have 9 hours from me this week. I still have the back half of the week to deliver those. We're going to fire up the
You wanna
ads.
see at the end of the week if you've been able to deliver 9 hours.
Do I want to what?
See at the end of the week if you've been able to deliver for 9 hours, because if you can't do that, then maybe you've got to give yourself a little bit more breathing room.
Okay, so let me make the decision by Friday end of day
Okay.
as to whether we're on target for both course and book
Okay.
this, or July, whatever July date is. I believe that we will be. I'll know by the end of the week for sure. And if that's the case, and if I can deliver the 9 hours that I intend to deliver,
All I want is a text message that's Katy Perry, baby, you're a firework. It's 4th of July.
okay.
We'll all know what that means.
So that's
And
what
for
we'll
the
do.
course, send me Ida type it, whatever her type is.
Yeah.
What's the
key.
tiger song? Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger's perfect.
I am the eye
She's
of the
got-
tiger.
She not is the eye of the tiger.
What is it?
She
What is? How's
has
the?
the eye of the tiger.
No, but the words.
Yeah,
I
no,
am
no,
the.
Not I am. I have.
I consume the eyes of
ha-
tigers. I think that's what they.
I have the eye.
Is that what she says in the song?
Pretty sure.
I have the. Google that.
All right.
I don't have my phone with me.
If she
I'm
was
making
here,
a conscious effort to
yeah.
not have my phone, because you know
I put mine on.
I
silent,
can't even
put it
think
on
of the name
table.
because I keep thinking of the.
it's Eye of the Tiger.
Was it Europe?
Katy Perry. No, that was
That's what I'm
Survivor.
thinking.
Survivor. Thank you.
Oh, and I thought you were meant yes.
But her song has a different. It's a different title. It is
Yeah.
Roar.
Oh, Roar. No, but she says I am the Eye of the Tiger.
Probably.
I have. No, she is the champion. She has the eye of the tiger.
What does it say?
You can't be the eye of the tiger.
I am the eye of the tiger. No lyrics. I don't want to hear the song. I want lyrics.
Well,
Why not?
you're gonna get it in a second either way. See, bite your damn tongue, hold your breath.
Okay, here it comes. I've got the eye of the tiger.
I've got the eye of the
Why
tiger.
would she be the eye of
I don't know.
All right, let's switch to a different song. You're the best around.
the
From the
Oh,
Karate Kid.
yes.
Okay.
That'll be your
Okay.
best
You're the
around.
best.
I've got the eye of the tiger. So by the end of the day Friday, I'll know whether we're on track, and I'll say yes.
I'm the best around.
4th of July,
Fireworks.
fireworks, or not,
Or roar.
or roar,
Roar.
roar,
Roar.
roar, fireworks, roar, fireworks. Okay. What else? Am I killing you on anything?
No,
No, you already said 3 times. Crank it up.
Am I killing you on anything?
let's go.
Crank it up.
Okay. Done.